Life is tough. I know this. It wasn't too long ago that I was completely lost. Drinking and partying away my weekends waiting for something better to happen. Waiting for that cool girl or that new job with more money to come into my life and all of a sudden make me happy. In between I travelled, both out of a sense of adventure and out of escapism and avoidance. I slept with a lot of girls, acted like a fool, engaged in activities that only ever offered short-term relief. Every time I said that's enough. Too many hangovers, too many broken noses, too many near-death experiences. I just stepped back into it again and again. Changing was hard. Speaking about it was very easy, but putting it into practice, far more difficult. But then, like out of some coming-of-age Hollywood movie, my monk brother persuaded me to come and visit him in his new home in the monastery on the other side of the world. Using things like, when in your life have you ever really stopped and asked, what is important in my life? How shall I get it? What do I have to change? 3 months living in the monastery was a chance to stop, slow down, no longer run away from my boredom and loneliness and fear, and learn the tools that would actually make my life better and happier. Because I was well entrenched in the pleasure trap, accustomed to covering up every emotion in something or someone else, chasing after my happiness in external things again and again. But in my first week in the monastery, I heard a talk by Thich Nhat Hanh where he said, the trick is not to run away from our suffering. And I quickly realized that is all I ever did. I was an escape artist, addicted to avoiding anything that felt even remotely uneasy. Using those things like sex, drugs, alcohol, even people, relationships and technology, so I never had to feel. And have you ever heard a song where each word resonates with you so strongly that you think it was written just for you? Well, that happened there too. But it wasn't a top 100 hit song or a song on the radio, but instead it was a song sung by an elder Vietnamese monk, translated in English to, hey you, why are you running around in circles? I was a runner, maybe because I thought that life was about always feeling good. But is it? Is life about always being happy? I've come to realize that maybe it's more about having a full life, being fully alive, and with that, it is inevitable that we will suffer. What's more important is having the skills and tools to still function well when we do. And what tools had I cultivated that would actually make my life better, happier, freer, and more fulfilling? Zero. Because I made travel and exploration purely an external thing. But true travel, true exploration should always shift us here and here. Like Proust said, the true voyage of discovery consists not in seeking new landscapes, but in having new eyes. Exploration doesn't have to involve always moving and doing. We can explore ourselves every single day and learn countless new lessons. But if we just distract ourselves again and again so we never have to answer any real questions, we'll never get to any of the cool ones either. How many times have you heard in movies, on TV, even at school, that you have to find yourself? Find yourself? What does that even mean? I don't think we find ourselves, I think we create ourselves. As a society, as individuals, we flourish when we can remain curious and courageous. When we can sit with ourselves, bored, lonely, uncomfortable, and not run away. We connect to ourselves. We learn so much about ourselves. We connect to our values and to our strengths. And we become no longer a product of our environment, and instead we start creating it. Thoreau said we cannot dream ourselves into character, but we must hammer and forge one. But there is not much hammering and forging in the pursuit of only pleasant things, if we just answer every craving and desire that comes knocking. Maybe this is why we practice mindfulness. As Thich Nhat Hanh says, so we can be good gardeners, so we can develop the capacity to see which seeds we need to sow, water and shine light on. Stopping to learn how to cultivate what's important and learning not to shine light on the things that we don't want to grow. Leaving those bad seeds of anger, fear, craving aside and only cultivating and watering our good qualities. 3 months living in a hut in the forest of a Buddhist monastery with my monk brother was the grandest adventure I've ever been on. And I had travelled a lot before this, I just never explored what really matters. You don't have to wait for your monk brother or a loved one to send you 100 emails to inspire a quarter of midlife crisis. You just have to ask yourself, wherever you are in life, what am I doing and why? The answers are all around you. and in you. Just don't rush past them. And I know not everyone can spend 3 months living in a mindfulness practice center. And I know not everyone would even want to do that anyway. So I took everything I learned there and over the last 7 years and put it into the Awake program, the Awake journal, and my one-on-one coaching to teach people the skills to live their best, most vibrant lives, to add tools to our toolkit so we can fully enjoy this difficult, challenging, but beautiful world. Since I returned from the monastery, I've written 3 books, spoken on stages throughout Europe, North America, and Australia. I've created and led a range of events, retreats, and workshops, and I saw there was a need to have thought-provoking and engaging content and resources, but it was just as important to be able to then implement it into our lives in a simple way, to shift habits and drive change and transformation. With content, practices, guided meditations, inspiration, tips and challenges sent to you every week, and extra support with talks, events and Awake groups. If you want to enjoy life a little more, if you want better relationships, improved health, more meaning, motivation, confidence, gratitude, fearlessness, flow, freedom and aliveness, the Awake program is a great place to start. William James said, "The greatest discovery is that human beings, by changing the inner attitudes of their minds, can change the outer aspects of their lives."